Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D3 in 10 minutes or less. My name is Jasper, and today we're going to build a Choropleth map. That's right, Choropleth. Maybe you've been calling it a Choropleth, maybe you've been calling it a Choropleth, maybe you've been calling it a Boropleth, but today it will be exciting. With all those dad jokes out of the way, let's just get right into it. So, when we're building these Choropleth maps, we want to be sure that we're using it at the right time. Your users should be familiar with the geography so that they don't have to do any sort of additional mental mapping because there's a lot of information there. And you also want to convey one key metric. I like to use it for rates as opposed to volumes or percentage, or sorry, I like to use it for rates or percentages as opposed to volumes because it will be each section of geography will be colored based off of the metric. So if you have it based off of rates, then you're saying like within this space, this is what the percentage is. If you do it for a volume or a quantity, it becomes a little misleading because something with, let's say, a large surface area will seem larger and will seem like it has more. It's one of the issues you see with voting maps a lot of the time. Today, the data that we're going to look at is for fossil fuel employment within the United States of America. So by county within the United States, what percentage of employed individuals are in the fossil fuel industry. So let's just get into it. You can see we have this not working yet. That's okay. I'll walk through kind of the back structure you have to do to get it working. Then I'll show you the data transformations I've done, and then just key in a little bit of code, and then we'll be dancing. So with Choropleth maps, there's a lot of front up work. A lot of work you have to do up front. You can see all these lines here I have on the screen are all things that you need in order to draw maps. So at the very bottom, you have D3, right? You need D3 in order to draw with D3. That makes sense. Then you can see here, we're bringing in an actual topo.json client. This is, again, just to load things correctly. Here, I forked one of Mike Bostock's maps. So I kept these things in. You can see here, this is actually pulling directly from his GitHub. So thanks, Mike. While I was at it, I was also saying, thanks, Mike, for the D3. Thanks for D3, Mike. So what this does is this is just an object, right? You can see it's a JSON object with a whole bunch of topology information there. So topology will be, if you look up at the next thing, it will be things like states and counties. So those are the objects we have in here. So you can see for states, we've got all of these different states and the coordinates to draw each of the states. There's 58 because it states, I think it's some of the islands as well as territories. So there's states and then counties, 3,142.